So Hasbro is thinking about making the Decepticon Justice Department or Division, whatever, into toys. Hello everyone, this is the Omega Lynch. I've heard from one of Chris Jam's videos that the Hasbro team that works on the Transformers toy line are planning at some point to make figures of the DJD. Now supposedly this is Evans Brooks' idea. Don't know if that's true or not. However, if it is true, then it is more proof that this man needs to be fired. Like, it's ambitious, I'll give him that, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea. Especially since these TF figures have statistically hard transformations. You would think it would be better to make up-to-date figures of the Transmetals from Beast Wars, because those toys have more straightforward transformations. However, from what I've heard, people have asked him about making the Transmetals, and I believe his response was that he hadn't figured that out. So he'll ignore simple designs, but tackle ones that are actually complex, unlike the Transmetals, simply because of the chrome metal. Now, even Brooks is supposedly a bloody toy designer. His friggin' job is to find solutions to problems, not excuses to why they can't make certain figures. Now, the Hasbro Zombies and the G1 Extremists will bring up the whole cost of chrome, because that's the only counter argument they got. And they will say nobody wants them, which I think is BS, but whatever. And money shouldn't be an issue, because as the G1ers keep telling me, the G1 stuff sells remarkably well, so the cost of chrome shouldn't really be much of a problem. And if it is, then just ditch the stupid chrome. Hell, the original figures didn't even use that much chrome to begin with. And when Hasbro made Transmetal 2 Megatron and Optimus, they didn't use any of the chrome, so I don't see how this is an issue, unless they're just plain bias. Anyway, from what I've seen and heard, the DJD have unorthodox alt molds, which makes it hard to transfer that into a toy form. Now I like Transformers with unusual transformations. However, I feel like focusing on the Transmetals would be better. Of course, that's Hasbro for you. The last couple of years they have made bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. So why stop now? They want to bank on nostalgia, yet they keep using the same TF characters and ignoring the rest of the TF groups, thereby missing out on potential buyers. Now I've heard Hasbro is having discussions whether or not to bring Takara's Wild King over to the West. And the way I see it, there shouldn't be a discussion. You should want to get kids interested in your toy line. And that line is geared towards kids, so that should be a no-brainer. Unless Takara gets all the money from those sales, which would explain why they are talking about it. But even still, you would think they would want new fans. But oh no, you got to get those Hasbro Zombies to keep buying, and sadly they will. Doesn't matter if it's the same character. We've gone a million times over. So long as it's a new mold, the G1ers and the Hasbro Zombies will run towards it like flies into a spider web. It's unreal, and you know what? I think Retroblasting might be right. We might just see the end of Hasbro in our lifetimes, because they have made some truly dumb decisions, catering to an aging audience while ignoring other TF groups and not doing much to bring in kids to be interested in toys. Like, damn man, like, talk about self-sabotage. I could say more, but I probably stirred the wrath of the G1ers and Hasbro Zombies, who don't like it when their DDs are criticized. Anyway, if you made it this far, then think about subscribing and checking out my books. Fantasy is real big right now, and I have written a fantasy novel. I will try to leave a link below. If I don't, plenty of my other videos have links. Plenty of links to my other have links. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll be back.